here, and it is nearly Halloween, I've got to say. So it's nearly Halloween, nearly Halloween. Oh, it's Halloween, it's the Halloween that you've seen, it's the biggest Halloween. Hallowed is the wind, that's not what I mean to say. Hello, thank you very much, Arafingal. So, that's enough of that. Do you like the cape? Yes, so it's nearly Halloween. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. And it is Sunday. It's not quite, because the next week will be November, won't it? November! Oh, it's coming around so quickly, and then it's going to be the end of the year, and then it's the end of, I don't know, civilization as we know it. Who even knows what's going to happen this time next week? Who even knows? I'm hello. Hello, Chase. Hello, Arafingal. Hello, people of the world. That's a Spice Girls song. A Spice Girls song. It's it being Halloween, the Spice Girls. Ha ha! Yes, I'm sure many people have done that joke. How are you, everyone? Hi, everybody. Everybody's chatting in the comments. Hooray, hooray, hooray. So I've had some interesting news this week. I've submitted stuff for an anthology of poems ages ago that a friend of mine was compiling. I didn't want to push it. I was like, let's just leave that. That's on the back burner. But apparently that's all going ahead. Full steam ahead. So I had to submit a biography and say where they've been published before. And I realised that my record keeping is much to be desired. It's not as great as it should be. I've got lots of boxes full of stuff, and I was just hunting around going, I can't find anything. I've not kept proper records of. If there's ever a museum of my life, then people will struggle, because there's a pile of stuff. They're gonna have to catalogue it in a way. It's a lifetime's worth just to work it out. To what I'm all right, thank you. A lifetime's worth. I'm talking to Chase. Thank you very much. I'm all great. Everyone's great. How is everybody? Maybe you're talking to each other in the chat. Am I? I'm fun. This cape is getting in my way here, but it's got armholes. Whee! So you can maybe that's gonna la. Yes, I started watching, because I'm watching Agatha all along. I thought I'll go and watch Multiverse of Madness again to remember, because I'd seen it before, and I was like, I remember seeing WandaVision, and then I saw Multiverse of Madness, and it was like, oh, this completely stomped on all the character development from that, and then it's just like. So I thought I'd watch it again, and what I really took from it, I only watched the first 20 minutes, what I really took from it is that Stephen Strange is a terrible character. Not a terrible character, a terrible person. He's just, yeah, he's like, your children are real. He doesn't say it like that. He's like, your children are real. I can't do Benedict Cumberbatch. Cumby Cucumber Patch doing his Doctor Strange. And she's like, it's not a cape, it's a cloak or something like that. Anyway, he's a silly man, and he's a terrible man. Who brought everything, or the whole destruction from the rest of the film, was really down to him. He just needed to be a little bit more. Yes, all right then. Let's find you a universe, as somebody pointed out. Find you a universe in which there is not another Wanda, and you can just take over and look after the kids, and everything's going to be fine. And then, like, America Chavez goes with him to the other universe, and he accidentally steals some pizza balls, which, I mean, and then. How he doesn't go, oh sorry, Bruce Campbell, street vendor. You might not have seen this, this is spoilers, but this is quite early on in it. Sorry, Bruce Campbell, the street vendor. He's not called Bruce Campbell. That's his real name. That's the actor's name. I'm not going to give you the money from nicking all your stuff. I'm just going to have a spell where you just hurt yourself. And there's mustard in his eyes. It's dangerous. And apparently he's going to have to punch himself. That one time is too much. For 3 weeks, he's going to basically, Doctor Strange has murdered that man. Yeah, that's an early word to have that in. I don't know about the algorithm, whether that's going to ruin it. But he's basically he's a terrible person. Yes. So me too. Everybody's talking in chat. Nobody's listening to me. So I can say anything. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. So Halloween, Halloween, it says Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Oh, how many hallows have you seen? How many hallows has the ween? How many weens has the hallow? Halloween, 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 yay! I came up with better lyrics for that just before this, but I've forgotten what they were. As is my want. Just say. Yes. Say. Is that the Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson song? I don't know. My improvised concert from someone who can't play. It's an improvised concert that I'm doing for you today. It's a little bit stupid and it doesn't make sense. It's a up-down thing and it goes all over the place. And it's not very tuneful, cause I can't play this thing. But it doesn't really matter, cause I can't sing. I can't do anything. I can't do a thing. But I can try. I can do the things and I can sing up high and I can do the symphony for you. Do the symphony for you. And I can play it a little bit too, even though I can't do anything. What is my age? What a thing to ask me. What is my age? What age do I look? About 92,000,003, I should think. Does it really matter? I'm too old to be doing this. I was too old to be doing this when I was about 12. Because there's nobody that's the right age to be doing this sort of nonsense. And does it really matter in the end? Because we all go very soon. And everybody goes in the end. And so do you, my friend. So it doesn't really matter in the end, does it? It doesn't matter in the end. Oh, okay, well, I don't know how old you are, or how old is the friend, or how old is the mother, and I don't know if that's supposed to offend me, but I'm gonna let it go, because I'm probably older than them. I'm probably older than the earth, and the sky, and the universe, but it doesn't really matter, because nothing really matters. And as I say, we're all going to go in the end. I should put that down. So that was my symphony about how it doesn't matter. None of it matters. So I thought you said you're finished, friend, but it's not what you said. So it's thank you very much. Ha 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 ha. It's hi TWC Myers. Hello Andrew. Hello all the people, whoever you are. I don't know how old any of these people are, and it doesn't really matter in the end, does it? No, because Elias said age is just a number. She was under the influence of other people. She probably didn't mean it, and we don't really want to go into that really. But she's in Queen of the Damned, spooky Halloween movie, which is not as good as the Vampire Lestat, which hasn't been made even. The Vampire Lestat was never made into a film, but interview the vampires all over the place. Queen of the Damned, not the best, but Queen of the Damned, the character's very good, and Elia was very good in that. So, yes. Is this a jacket? No, it's a cape. It's a cape, because I'm a vampire. Ooh. Or is it a witch? A witchy vampire, or a monk, spooky. This is a generic fits all Halloween costumes. So I put this on with a load of makeup, and I was trying to be Aubrey Plaza, and I didn't succeed in that. But basically, got an apple, creepy witch. You got vampire, or you've got you've got a monk, a spooky ghosty monk, or you've got vampire again, Dracula. So it's a coverall. It's a good silky cape that you can do lots of. It's massive. Bat. I can be a bat. Whoa. So it's really helpful. It's a good Halloween costume for all seasons, because Halloween is all the time, all the years and all the time. Harry Potter, yes, Voldemort. Yes, I'm just after. Oh, that was quite good, Voldemort. Not so film accurate, but you don't know really, do you? You can do what you want with it. Vampire. Zombie. Zombies don't wear capes. Out of all of them, like Frankenstein's monster jacket, or book. If it's book, it's who even knows what he's wearing in the book. Not the same as the film versions. And zombies don't tend to just wear rags, really. So apart from that, practically every other monster. Werewolves, actually not werewolves either. You could be a vampire werewolf, I suppose you could be that, but yeah, so really only witches and vampires and superheroes. They're the people that you can get away with this cape, and ghost monks, and other things like that, and Voldemort. So yeah, so there's a few monsters and villains that you could use, or heroes. Are they all heroes? It depends. It depends how you look at these. Perspective, isn't it? Whether somebody's a baddie or a goodie or a somewhere in betweeny, it's a matter of perspective. It really is. There's no such thing as good or bad. There's only how you see it. Like the people that think that they're the best, I was going to say the goodest, the people that think that they are the best and they're doing things out of the purest of motives, very often are the worst villains. The people that think I'm not a good person, I'm fallible and I'm just doing it the best I can. Usually, actually, the heroes are the anti-heroes. The people that are just going about their business, they're just, muddling through, somewhere in between. Anti-heroes, the people like that. There are villains that are, I'm pure evil. You would do the worst. But they're very cartoony comic book villains, really. They're not how villains are in real life. I think very rare that villains actually think of themselves as villains. Even if they know deep inside, this is a bad thing I do. That's psychological damage rather than villainy, really. I think there might be something organically wrong with you if you're going around deliberately creating chaos and destruction and knowing that you're doing that. Whereas if you're creating chaos and destruction under the auspices of doing the good in the world and making everything good, then that is what a villain is in real life. That is a true villain, a villainy. It's like, I would do good, but like Thanos, villainy! But I'm doing a good thing, he thought. Villainy! The master in Doctor Who. I'm doing it to please my friend the Doctor. The Doctor will be impressed with this. We can rule the universe together, Doctor. Not a bad person at heart, just a misguided, foolish person. Sometimes, though, psychologically villainous. But most of the time, thinking that they're doing a good thing. Especially the first iteration came to Earth, I think, and I think there was Autons involved. I think the first I think the first Doctor Who thing, it's sort of half lost or it's half black and white or something, and comes down and the Doctor's like, "Oh, you?" And it's like, "Yes, I've come here. I'm going to rule the Earth and help you." He's doing it for the Doctor because he loves the Doctor. That's really the whole basis of a lot of villainy, to do it out of love, a misguided sense of purpose and a mission that is warped. Yes, so what you should do in real life is to try to do the best thing you can, but not think, I'm being a good person. I'm doing this to save the world. Just do the best you can and make sure that you're not hurting people. If you're like, I can hurt these people as long as I save these other people, then you're a villain. If you go, I will not hurt these people, other people might suffer, but I'm not actively hurting people. This is the trolley problem, isn't it? If you pull the thing in order to, I'm going to save that one person. I'm going to save the person on that track by destroying the people on the other track. It's like, there's 4 people, but if I move it, then only the one has to... but you've actively hurt the one on the track, and you don't know anything about these people. The 4 that you've just saved might be terrible people, but you can't choose, can you? Because that would make you the villain. You can't. So that apathy in that way is like, you just have to go, I'm going to try and save the 4, but I'm not going to actively hurt the one there. So it's like, well, you have to. It's like, well, I don't want to. It's like, because you, in law, would be liable. That's it as well. It's like, it's all very well going, I was trying to save those 4 people. It's like, yes, that's true. That's very good. But you've actually destroyed this other person and you're going to prison for a very long time. So yes, is it moral cowardice? I don't know. But I wouldn't want to go to prison for moving the trolley to act. It's like, well, you have to make a choice. Why? That's not how life works. You don't have to actually make a choice. You can compromise. Compromise is not a bad thing. You can throw yourself in the path. Maybe it's like, that's morally wrong. But it's like, well, then at least you've made that decision and, there's a bit of control over it. Who even knows? Trolley problem. It's really... Charlize Theron in The Huntsman. Is that what this... Yes, I suppose. Yes. Apple. Yeah. The Wicked Queen. I had an apple. Oh, there's apples downstairs. I'm going to do a video with them later. They're pink inside, apparently. That looks very much like the when the cartoon Snow White. When the queen turns into the witch. Yes, that face is very witchy. Yes, I can. A malleable face, very much like Mr. Bean. My face. Yes, I know. It depends on the light. It's like, not quite attractive, absolutely terrifying, absolutely horrible. It's horrifying, but it's just my face. It's just my face. What can you do about your own face? Nothing, because you try to do something. For instance, like I don't want to body shame people or like pick on other people's faults, because everything is beautiful. I think seeing the pictures of this is it, the substance, right? There's I haven't seen it, so this isn't a spoiler in that it is a spoiler in that if you've seen any of the trailers, you'll have seen what I've seen. But there's always fan videos and stuff. I've seen a lot of them. Margaret Qualley is like a version of Demi Moore in it. That's what I know from the spoilers. So I have spoiled you. Yeah, that's a spoiler. But also monster. There's a monster in it. I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to cut the spoiler. There's a sort of monstrous figure in it. Anyway, I think that's quite beautiful in a way. Everything's beautiful. It's like these are eyes and ears and everything. I think like the Absorbaloff in Doctor Who. I'm not saying I find monsters attractive, but what I'm saying is I don't find anything horrible. If everything that exists is in its own way beautiful, if you know what I mean. So, but what I was actually going for, that's a detour around my mind, as it's a flim flam, it's all over the place. What I was actually going to say is Kate Beckinsale. Kate Beckinsale, British actress. She's the daughter of Richard Beckinsale, who unfortunately passed away too young. And she was married to Michael Sheen, I think, and she went to America. And she's fallen the way of a lot of people in the last. She seems to have had some work done. I'm not sure whether she's whether she's just lost weight. Maybe that's it. I'm not sure what her look is. At the moment, it seems to be haunted doll, and I'm not sure whether it's a Halloween spooky look or whether that's actually what she looks like. Now, it could be for a role. She could be going, I'm a haunted doll, because she's trying to make a point about Hollywood. But any actor or over a certain age in Hollywood that's had work done starts to look very much not real. Like, that is quite terrifying. That's more terrifying than like that. Physical imperfections are not unattractive. I don't think they are. There's the facial differences, not unattractive generally. It's like they're fascinating in a lot of ways. But if I'm staring at somebody's differences, that's rude, by the way, don't do that. It's not because I'm going, that's awful. It's because that's an interesting, like, don't stare at people. But in an art, if it was if like there was an installation in an art gallery, not to a real person, but if there was an installation of something in an art gallery, you'd be like, oh, and you'd find the beauty in things. You can find the beauty in things that other people might perceive as ugly. But when people are going out of the way for an extreme beauty that's like all pulled back, like in Brazil, it's like Catherine Hammond in Brazil, or at the end, or the can't remember what it's called. The moisturize me in played by Zoe. You know what I mean? What is that character called? Anyway, that's like with physical perfection gone wrong. That is quite horrifying. If it goes so wrong that it comes out the other side, then it's an art installation. Like Joyce, I'm going to say Wildebeest. That's not her. You know her name, Joyce. Blah, blah, blah. What's her name? The person that had the cat stuff, and she there's Wildenstein. Jocelyn Wildenstein. I can't remember what her name is. Anyway, she's actually interesting looking in that. It's gone so far that it's come out the other way. But a lot of the Hollywood stars that are trying to look youthful and young, they all look the same. Sure. So that's not attractive, is it? That's exactly what the look they're going for. That's just weird. And you can just make your face go like that just by pulling it back and making a weird face. So, but you know, scars and things and that's not a problem. I think really there's all sorts of ways. Everything's beautiful in its own way, but I think filler isn't. It's terrifying. That's the most terrifying thing of all. Is extreme beauty is just strange. If it's unnatural beauty, it's like it's the quest for physical perfection. It's just all wrong. She's Anna Taylor. Yes, exactly. Anya Taylor-Joy's got an interesting face. There's a lot of people with interesting faces, but it's like, please don't do anything to that interesting face. Just let it develop in its own way. But people do, like in Hollywood, it's like there's some compulsion to change yourself. It's like, no, the bright white teeth and the big lips and the huge cheekbones and the everything. It's like, I had an argument with my mother this week about whether Joan Collins had work done, and I don't think she did. I don't think I think there's a look that you get when you had work done that I don't think Joan Collins has got. I think she pulls everything back behind a wig, and I think she wears a lot of makeup. But I do not think, she's got lines and wrinkles when you go close up. I do not think she's had work done. I honestly don't. It's like Michael Jackson had some work done early on, but then there was like the vitiligo, which changed the skin texture and stuff. So he had a bit of work done, and then the rest of it, obviously he had a nose job that wasn't the best nose job, like that. Like, that's weird. I've just made myself look like like the what's her name? Jigsaw out of Saw. Yeah. Anyway, there's people that have had, you can obviously see they've had work done, and then that's it. But this, like, stop there. But I don't think Joan Collins has. And my mother got very angry at me, and she's like, she has. And I'm like, I don't think she has, because I've looked at these people, the celebrities that have had the filler and the Botox and I don't think she has. I think she's just wearing a lot of makeup and artifice in the way that Dolly Parton's obviously had some plastic surgery, but most of it is wigs and makeup. She has had. Obviously, she's had some work, but not as much as a lot of people. Not as much as some of the people that have, like the Kardashians, clearly had a lot of work done, and it's changed them. It's changed them in ways. So, you know, I don't know. Body modification, exactly. Body modification in itself is not a bad thing. When I had a live journal ages before, I did when I was also a journalist, I did an article about a TV show about body modification. I did a lot of research, and I added some people on Facebook that had done this, and it was like, that's an interesting thing to do. And that's not in the pursuit of beauty. That's sort of art in itself. That's an interesting thing to do. It's not, I don't think I'd do it to myself. I don't think that I'd want to use myself as an art exhibition. But if you want to do that, the extreme that you know what you're doing, it's fine. If you've gone there with that, if you're like, this is what you want to look like, that's fine. It's like if you're covered in tattoos and bits on you, and you wanted to look like that, then that's not a problem. But if that you didn't want to look like that, and you were just trying to be like, I want to be conventionally attractive, and you've come out looking like, as I say, a haunted doll, then that's where the problem lies. This is a Halloween conversation in a way, because what is a monster? A monster is not something that is terrifying in of itself. A monster is something that has tried to go, this is about the good, try to do, it's like, this is the good. No, it's not. So it's the monster in all of us is not, you know, and people that just naturally have the facial differences and stuff, that's all beautiful in its way, its own way, and it's not something that's it's not something you thrust upon yourself in an effort to be perfect. I think perfection is the enemy of everything, really. It's trying to be perfect. That's what the problem is. If you're just doing what you're doing and living your life and being who you are, then it can go wrong. And that's just fine. That's just life's rich tapestry, isn't it? But if you've ultimately done this to yourself because you were trying to go for something, you've striven for something that is not really what you should. It's difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. It's like, why did you do that? I don't know. If it's pure, you know, other things, it's like, well, this is just how life is. Nothing is perfect, and if you can just accept that and just go with it, just keep going. There's beauty in age. There's beauty in what other people might perceive as ugliness. There's not one fixed set of what this is perfect, but you know. That I think the idea of perfection is the enemy. Definitely. Anyway, that was a funny. Yes, that's beautiful too. What am I? Odo. Yes, exactly. Odo from Deep Space Nine. That's an interest. This is it. When you've got an alien species or race and animals look a whole different way. So I think something that is quite horrible is the film Tusk. Now that is terrifying and horrible because that person is just he steps into something that he can't control, and he's punished for ridiculous. It's like when you like, that's the sort of really scary thing, is when somebody haplessly stumbles into a situation and is punished for something that shouldn't be punished, something that's not beyond their control. Now that's terrifying. That is pure terror. It's like when you're just living your life and doing the best you can, and it's like, no, you'll be punished for that. And that character in that is punished for no reason. It's like, Why? That's just horrible and hideous. Why did you do that? Was a walrus in itself is not a terrible thing, but being made to be not even a walrus, a sort of it's not a real. If he was a real walrus, then that would be fine. But he's not, is he? And he didn't want to be. And I don't think it's like, well, that's what he wants in the end. It's not. It's clearly not. It's just some people, if you've seen that film, you take it from it, well, yeah, well, he was happy in a way. No, I don't think that's the moral of the story. The moral of the story is just don't do anything else. Just stay in your lane. Maybe that's it. Just don't go out of your way to do anything. Just live your life and try to not interact with other people you don't know. Yeah, that's probably it. Try not to go to strange men's houses in the middle of the night. That's probably a rule. That's probably going to well serve every single person watching this, no matter who you are, how you identify. The best thing to do is not to go to a strange person's house and in the middle of nowhere, because that's not going to end well in real life or in movies. It's not going to end well, or in books. Not going to end well. No, misery. Not going to end well. Don't go to other people's houses. Yeah. That's don't worry, be happy. Yeah, Rambo, punishment. Yeah, blah blah blah. Hey, yes. So that's the moral of the day. Everything is beautiful except the striving for perfection and not beautiful, because it's never going to happen. And thinking that you're good when you're not. Don't think yourself the good guy and the perfect person, because that is the opposite to how it is. Everyone else full of imperfections. Good. Keep going. That's fine. That's beautiful. Your life is a path. Blah, 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 blah. I will read your fortune now. Spooky monk. All right. Well, I will leave you for Halloween. Spooky. And I hope you've enjoyed this and had a lovely, lovely mirror, mirror in the wall. Who's the fairest of my... It's not me, is it? That's it. That's also the problem with the Wicked Queen. Thinking that I'm the most beautiful person and being completely fine, not being in the least unoffensive looking, but being horrible in the heart, that wants to punish somebody else for anyone saying that they're better than they are. It's like Snow White at no point is more beautiful than the Queen, but the Queen is very insecure and listens to other people saying stupid rubbish. That mirror lies. That mirror, oh, well, Snow White's fairer than you. No! Snow White's just looking different to you. Snow White looks fine, and so do you. You're not going to be her. Just leave it, mate. Just go with the flow and don't go putting poisonous apples in your hand and trying to make people eat them, because that's not a good thing to do. Not a good thing to do. All right, then. Well, I am going to go now, and happy Halloween if you celebrate that, and if you don't, nothing I can do about that, is there? And thank you. Yes. Have a nice day, and see you next Sunday. Bye-bye.